And Prabhupada said, after this revolution, first of all it's peaceful, and then he said, there will be no other revolution. He said, this is the final revolution. So he mentioned in the preface to Bhagavatam, that famous statement that this Bhagavatam is meant to cause a revolution in the irreligious life of a misguided materialistic civilization. And it is meant to give that balance which is needed for one-sided materialistic values, wrong values which don't satisfy anyone. So at that time, this wave coming centrally from the personality of Srila Prabhupada, who brought Krishna to the Western world. Krishna was rowing his boat, as Prabhupada saw in the vision. And it is the fact that Krishna somehow appeared in the form of his holy name, and Prabhupada was carrying that in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam, form of prasadam. And people started singing and dancing and being happy, and that's what they were angry about. You cannot be happy, you have to suffer like us. Why are you just singing, dancing? It's not that we are not working, but why they scream work, what they mean is work for our goals, not for your goals. But these are not our goals, these are Krishna's goals. It's not that there's this song, Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. And in the end he was deadly sick from eating too much meat, and he died like a sick dog. Of course everyone has individuality, especially in Krishna consciousness, nice. But ultimately we don't do it my way. Everyone thinks it has to go my way. But we will try to do it Krishna's way. We do it Krishna's way. And that's what we learn, and that is mentioned here, that we cannot move even 1 inch without the guidance of the Super Soul. So why don't we take his advice? Why don't we work unto him? So this is what Yamaraj is explaining to his servants, that Vishnu is in superior position. He's not limited by ignorance and illusion and the three-dimensional picture, which is limited by time and space. Like in this world we see objects moving from one place to another. It means one object is here and then it is there, and then we measure time by the movement of objects. If object wouldn't move in this universe, we couldn't measure time. And in the spiritual world, you can be in more than one place at the same time. Therefore, this limited time factor doesn't exist. There is one example. Of course, there's much more to it. There's past, present, future. Here it is limiting everything, and it's relative, as Einstein found out. Mr. Einstein found out that the objects actually depends on your angle of view, that how you measure things, and it depends on the movement of objects. But in the spiritual world, you can be in Mayapur and Vrindavan and one at the same time. There's no difference. You can be here and be in Vrindavan also, if you have the right consciousness. That means you have to broaden your perspective and develop that higher, elevate your consciousness to a higher perception. And Krishna's perception, that is all inclusive, 360-degree perception. So it's not that we see things just one-sided from one angle of view. Even a chapati has two sides, and that is a fact. You cannot deny it, it has two sides. It's not one-dimensional, it's three-dimensional. But there is even more dimension. Krishna is seeking more dimension. He's living, he's like Vishnu, he's at one and the same time in all the different atoms, and at the same time he's in Krishna Loka. How we want to perceive that is not so possible. So we should be careful to come to too fast conclusions, but try to take advice. As soon as we stop taking advice, we think we know more, and then it becomes a little difficult. So this is revolutionary knowledge. The whole outlook, Krishna consciousness, is very revolutionary, and it's very blissful, and it's a very happy way of life, and it's very healthy and very practical also. It is proven and tested and it's very scientific, but it requires a little patience to learn it also, how to apply in different situations. That is sometimes different arguments come out, should be like this, should be like that. So for that we need a little experience, and we should discuss also philosophy. how to apply this. First we should understand the basic principle, what to do, by cleanliness and glorifying the Lord, remembering Krishna like that, doing things with great care and attention for Krishna. That is devotion, to do things very nicely with great care and attention. That we sing every morning, M2U00778. Savadana means with great attention, care. When you do things like that, you become very blissful. At the temple where I joined, everyone was doing things with great care and attention. The smallest things, washing a pot, whatever. And then it was really blissful, it was really fun. The devotee who first gave me the first pot to wash was Bhakti-Bhagavad Swami. It was a brahmachari, he was pujar, and that was on my second or third visit. He said, if you simply do that for Krishna with great care and attention and devotion, and when you touch that milk pot, you will immediately fall in an ecstatic trance. And I thought, this is great, that's really what I've been looking for, a real practical spiritual life, a real mystic experience. So I was so grateful to be able to watch that pot. I thought, now they accept me in their ranks. I had so much respect for the devotees. They were like people from some totally different dimension from me, greatest yogis. And so I was very thankful they gave me that. And it became a very, very wonderful experience the next few years. And when I was having to wash the pots, and it was one of my main services to polish all the brass articles in the temple once or twice a week. And it was a whole science how I was explained by the pujari how to polish it, how to clean it, and again polish it, and then polish it again. And then he told me, yogi means fast. I always thought yogi is slow, from Buddhism. I said, no, that is wrong. Yogi is using every minute of his time, very, very effective. And with great care, and because Krishna is there, but also Krishna consciousness means we're very conscious, because we see everything connected with Krishna. So then he said, when you do this polishing, it's not enough you just polish, but you should follow this process and understand it, how to do it. And then I thought, this is like a real experience. I'm learning so much every day. And then he said, the practical experience is that when you polish, you have to polish so hard, especially in the end. It's like shining, like from Vaikuntha. And you will realize that you are polishing with great care when curls of sweat appear on your forehead, then it's right. Otherwise it's not good. So I thought, okay, I'll do that with all the devotion I had, whatever little devotion, and it comes out in the heart, you feel very happy. And you feel, wow, this is very nice. And when everyone has this attitude, it becomes so great. And when nobody cares, here's something, I don't care, I don't think, I don't feel, and how the spiritual life comes out in your heart, and you don't feel much happiness. But if you do it with great devotion, and you activate your spiritual senses, and you do it with this savadana, with great care and attention, listening with great care and attention, serving with great care and attention. Just like I saw this Sunday, was really an experience for me when devotees distributed prasadam. I hardly ever seen in my life the devotees with such concentration and such care and attention serve the prasadam. I was really stunned. They didn't say one word, but everyone was just... I thought, I've seen many things, Bangladesh, India, so many places out. In India you can learn how to serve food and things. But I thought this even tops it to some extent. At least that's my subjective perception, how it was served. It was just whenever somebody didn't have something, devotees were coming, looking, you want this, okay, going to the next person. And so quiet and soft and nice, and so I thought this is like, sometimes Lord Chaitanya is just showering the mercy that we can experience something like that, and there's such a nice atmosphere. The Lord immediately reveals. So what to speak when we chant the holy name with great care and attention. Like when I was in Chopati once for 1 week, every morning we were chanting, and all the devotees were there chanting together in little groups with such care and attention. And that was so blissful, and I had so many other plans what I wanted to do in that 1 week in Mumbai. I had come there to do something for my brother and this and that. To bring one devotee there who needed some care or something. And then I was in Bombay, I had a whole list, but then there was this terror attacks just on the day when I arrived, big explosions, and they blocked all the streets and I couldn't go out for 3 days. But then I had this wonderful atmosphere there in the temple, and I thought, why not give up all these plans and just chant? And the more I chanted with devotees, the more I liked it even more chanting. Qigong, Tai Chi, yeah. So this is a spiritual platform. It is beyond it. It's more dimensional. It's unlimited, always expanding bliss. Whatever little thing we do, if we do it with great devotion, care, and attention, we try to actually do it nicely. Krishna will help us to do it nicely. And we all have that spirit. Everything becomes extremely ecstatic. And if we chant the holy name, especially of Lord Gauranga and Nityananda, and we pray for the mercy of Panchatattva, of Advaita Acharya also, who actually facilitated Lord Chaitanya's appearance in this world. If we do that, the Lord will actually appear when we do kirtan. The Lord will actually come when we don't expect it. You just feel Krishna's presence while you chant, while you do service. And that's what it's all about. It's not what we do. We're so smart and we manipulate and we fight and argue. No. We may all be wrong. But our only business is to simply present Krishna as he is and do it with great care and attention and a humble spirit of mind. I'm the servant and the last one who does. And if we don't have that spirit, I often don't have that, but we have to work on it, that's all. Then whatever little thing we do, just do it with great care and attention and devotion. And then Krishna will give you more things to do with us. And that's all we want. We want more service, that's all. So there's one question here, urgent question. Second. Okay, first you, because you're all senior devotee. Yeah.
But I just wanted you,
right.
who were the devotees you saw there in '69? Do you remember who they were? Recognized when you came a couple years later?
Later on, yeah, I recognized. I couldn't remember their faces very well because they looked so unusual. But I just saw the big tilaks, and they were all young. But later I saw the photos who were there at that time. And one of them was Krishna Das from America, one of the first householders from San Francisco was there. And I'm not sure if already in the group he was there, but I think Hansa came 1 year after that, or a few months after that. But Bhakti Bhushan Swami, he was there, one of the first. Shivananda was there. And some young devotees from America who went back also. Krishna Swami had been there for a few weeks. And devotees were coming and going, mostly from America, American devotees. But none of these very famous ones like Vishnu Chan Swami or something like that. So Shivananda was the first to come to Germany. And Bhakti Bhushan Swami and Vasudev, those were the first, Suchandra and Vasudev. They were the first two devotees. Vasudev was actually the first one. He was a painter. And he had an amazing way of singing. When we sang in the Humboldt Temple, at one point when he got in ecstasy, he started to shout, Hari Bol. And everyone's hair was standing on end because it was like he was it was piercing the walls with such a high voice, just letting it all out in the ecstasy. We weren't surprised, but it was very, very amazing experience to hear him chant this, When the kirtan reached its peaks, we were just all going nuts, You've probably experienced such kirtans in the past, we were just going crazy, and then he would say, Hari Bol. And then we thought, now we're levitating, we're taking off, It was also my first experience when I first came into the temple room. On my second visit, I saw the first time an Arctic, and the devotee sings so beautiful, it was indescribably wonderful. And then I thought, this is the nicest, I cannot understand the words, it's the nicest, most beautiful thing I ever heard. And there was this air, like floating like different rainbow colors in front of the altar, and these beautiful forms of Radha Krishna was there. And it's an incredible smell. I never heard such a transcendental smell. You just want to be alive. And then the sound of Mridanga. There was one Mataji playing Mridanga, Redna Surabi. She was amazing, Mataji from Australia. Another one from America. I think they were also in that group. Surabi and Madame Mohan Mohini. And they were just bhaktins at that time. But they could already play the Mridanga as well. I have to think again, I can't remember exactly what it was. But then at one point I was there and in the Arctic and I was feeling more and more wonderful. And all of a sudden the kirtan accelerated at the end and the devotees started jumping up and down. And I had never seen anything like it. And I thought, now they're levitating, I thought now they're taking out. I heard of mystic yogis floating in the air. And they were just like raising their arms and just dancing like mad people, And I thought, this is freedom now. We're liberated now, And then the conch shell was blowing. And I had a vision, although I never heard any of the philosophy, I had a vision of Krishna killing some demon or something like that, And that sound was so transcendental, So I thought, wow, this is really, all this dry sitting yoga, trying to leave your body and doing astral and it never works, and trying to imagine it's so dry, it's such hard work. It doesn't lead you anywhere, And here just come stepping in and it seems like whatever I do, it's just wow, It's on a different level, And then I turned around, this huge picture of Krishna they painted. They painted so many picture paintings of Krishna, so expert. As Vasudeva was a painter. It was life size of Krishna, huge. Radha Krishna, you see that on this little stamp, this Hare Krishna stamp, that is good. It's a huge one, it's still an amateur painting. And I turned around and I saw this beautiful bluish color of Krishna. And I thought, I would just like to kiss his feet. But they would probably think I'm going crazy, I have to behave myself, Because maybe I have to be careful and not get carried away too much. But I made up my mind at this moment, I'll come back every day, and if I can, I will just move in. And I want to be part of it. That's what I've been looking for. And I want to learn these songs, because it's the most beautiful. I want to learn this language. I didn't even know it was Bengali or Sanskrit. I just knew this is so beautiful. Why? Because Krishna, I had a feeling like I didn't know it, but actually sometimes Krishna just appears in the kirtan. Lord Chaitanya is actually dancing there. Narada Muni is there. These things actually happen. But you have to take it cool-headedly and not get carried away too quickly. Learn it one by one. And I always knew I have to learn and I want to learn. It was like, that's why I like reading books. And I thought, I'll come and learn. And every day I learn something more practical. So it's really attractive. And sorry again, you asked that question. I should give you a short answer. I just get carried away. When I think of those days, it's just beautiful. Yes.
Can I say something? I'm not sure if I told you,
Yeah.
but here last time, we have here in Denmark one Dr. Ulrik. Did I tell you about him?
No.
He's actually he's from the same area as you're from. He's a little older, and but he moved to Denmark in maybe when he was in his 20s or something. He lived there since then, and then he joined. Around 97, 98, like that. This little German, little eccentric. But anyway, but his first meeting was with, also he saw the devotees in Hamburg on the street in 69.
All right.
And he told me what he saw. Actually, he saw there were a group. They were was these young people dancing, he came close, and there's also one Indian man there along with them. And this Indian man, he was smiling and he was so effulgent. And then he came close to them and he was very fascinated. Then one of the young devotees came and tried to pull him in like that, but he was really hesitant. Then this Indian man, he said, let him go to him like that. And then I said, Ulrich, you see Prabhupada?
Yeah, he must have seen Prabhupada. I don't think I've seen Prabhupada. Maybe he was there because it was in the summer of '69 and Prabhupada was
in Hamburg in '69.
He was there.
Yeah. It cost to the numbers.
I can't remember having seen it. I just saw everything just looked Indian and totally out of this way. I couldn't dress. I couldn't understand what's going on. I just thought this is so attractive.
Yeah. It must have been because there were no older Indian gentlemen with
Oh, he definitely seen Prabhupada.
Yeah. So
I can imagine.
He didn't. It wasn't until I told him he didn't click on him that it was Prabhupada.
Amazing. Sometimes we don't know. Yeah. So you wanted to help me too. Could be. Only first time I remember having seen Prabhupada consciously was like about 2 years later, and I was reading all these books trying to find a real guru, and I was just frustrated with whatever I was reading. Thought maybe I need to hitchhike to India. I was even saving food secretly and thought I would hitchhike to India or something. I was 14. And then I've seen the devotees a few times on the street, and I thought they were in bed sheets, and according to Buddhism it didn't make sense to me. But I found it still attractive. I've seen them a few times, one or two, and they were distributing very, very heavily these magazines. And mostly I didn't have much time. I was thinking about it. I wish to know what all this is. But I didn't know they had guru and all this. And all of a sudden, I come near the university on the other side of that same train station. There's a big university building, and there's a lamppost, and there was a beautiful picture of Prabhupada. And with a signature saying, please come and visit our temple. Very like folded hands, very humble like this. And come and hear this Krishna consciousness philosophy. It's free of charge. And then go home with a refreshed, chant Hare Krishna and go home with a refreshed mind. You are ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. I looked at it and I thought, wow, maybe that is the guru I've been looking for. That was so nice. And then I listened to him. So I can't remember. He may have been there, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I should check it out. Maybe that's why I was attracted. Because it's a fact. Whoever met Prabhupada, even briefly, like that lady I told you who told us she was arrested while there was this big Harinam. I met her in Munich when I was disputing, and she told me she had even been part of that, making the light show at that Avalon Ballroom thing. Although she never became a devotee, didn't much about it, but she saw Prabhupada and the devotees. Later she became the girlfriend of the drummer of the Doors, that famous music band. She was living with them sometime. And she didn't know, even at that time, so much about Krishna consciousness. But then she remembered Prabhupada, and then I said, why don't you go to the temple? And then she came to the temple and painted a picture of Krishna Shlokas and Harthas. And that was like 30 years after she saw Prabhupada. And that's what I'm recognizing now in what you're saying is that whoever met Prabhupada, even briefly, his Krishna consciousness started in one way or another. Like this boy, he came back years later. And again, you're meeting him, and it never ends. And that is Prabhupada's potency. He's carrying Krishna with him, just delivering Krishna to everyone. That is the topic of this class. That all we have to do is just be very much aware of Krishna and then just deliver him unchanged. And we should never take it lightly that I know already Krishna or something. We should think again, am I actually surrendering? Did I actually understand Krishna consciousness from the different angles Krishna is presenting here or not? And so with great care and attention. It's never wrong. Yes.
Prabhu,
Sorry.
no, but we decided yesterday to stop everyone. I also had a question, but we can ask maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, meetings, okay.
Because
No problem.
we
Quarter
actually,
to, it's just perfect.
yeah.
You are just there always at the right time. You are our mother. You're so motherly and caring. I appreciate it very much. So thank you, and I'll be around in the afternoon anytime you have more questions. You can ask me, of course. Sorry that I kept you delayed. It will teach me also to use more care and attention next time. Be a little more brief in my reply. So it's a constant practice, it never ends. You should never think, now I'm perfect. I was in your very shape. Sorry, Hare Krishna, that's your problem. Bhagavatam.
Yeah.